Hello, I'm Felicity. I write about science and technology. I'm here with Rosemary. What do you do?
Hello, I'm Rosemary and I'm the CTO of CommonAI Compute.
Excellent. Where is CommonAI based?
We're based in Cambridge, so we've got the station just over there.
Lovely background.
And yeah.
So, entering the world of AI, there's been a lot on the news recently about investment in AI from not just the UK government, but from overseas as well. Can you tell us a bit more about where that's heading?
Yeah, so I think the investment in AI is like nothing we've ever seen before in technology. The UK government is putting £2 billion into simulating AI industry within the UK. That's a phenomenal investment. And again, that's dwarfed by private investment in AI. So we saw a little under £3 billion investment in startups in the first half of this year. So it's reasonable to expect total investment this year to be around £6 billion. And that doesn't include investment in existing companies, so large companies building out AI solutions within their portfolio. And that doesn't include overseas investment. So there was an announcement a few weeks ago that a group of US companies, including Microsoft, Google, OpenAI, and of course NVIDIA, are putting $31 billion into the UK economy, and that's mostly investment in data centers and physical infrastructure for AI and AI compute. So yeah, absolutely phenomenal investment.
That is huge. I mean, they obviously think that there's a lot going on here if they're going to commit that much money.
Absolutely. So they're putting in that money because they're expecting significant spend within the UK and within the UK economy on AI compute and AI infrastructure.
So how can UK companies, startups, or founded businesses, how can they make the most of this spend?
Well, I think if we believe as well that we're going to be developing new AI technologies, and the spend on AI compute is just going to increase. And we need to make sure that we're spending that money effectively. So whether you're a startup or whether you're an existing organisation, it's critical to make sure that if infrastructure and compute spend within AI is your biggest expense, that spend is made effectively and with good engineering and good science behind it.
I mean, from what you know about developing AI solutions, I mean, do you think that it is spent effectively at the moment and efficiently? Do you think people make the most of what they can with infrastructure?
So I think we're not there yet. So actually, when developing AI solutions, it's incredibly difficult to develop the infrastructure that you need. It's usually built from a series of open source tools. There aren't really any solutions that just work out of the box. And so every single team, whether you're a startup, a research organisation, or an existing organisation, has to build a lot of that infrastructure themselves. It's a bit like developing a car and having to build the road yourself. And that involves hiring very specialised engineers who know about cloud infrastructure, security, and running at scale. And it's about hiring experts on specific tools, such as Kubernetes and some of the more AI specific tool chains. And but there's a skills shortage in that area. We don't have enough people to go around, and it's in that way, AI organisations are having to fight for resources and spend a lot of their investment in an area that is not actually core to their value add and their unique innovation.
So at the moment, if they're having to spend all this money on infrastructure the whole time, how do we instead try and get all that investment in UK businesses and so on? How do we keep it in the UK? What do we need to do to try and boost infrastructure access to keep it in the UK?
So one of the things we need to do is to stop organisations reinventing the wheel and having to build infrastructure from scratch, which is not materially different from the company next door. One of the things we're doing at CommonAI is surrounding organisations with an ecosystem of resources. So that's expertise in infrastructure, tooling, digital commons, so collaborative projects, building out technologies that are important but not strategic. And also giving organisations access to compute in a cloud agnostic way so that they can make use of a wide range of suppliers when it comes to delivering the compute, making sure they can get access to the right compute at the right time and align their spend with their business needs.
So at the moment, are they mainly resorting to compute that's based or operated from, I don't know, America?
Oh, yes.
Is that?
Absolutely. The hyperscalers have really cornered the market, and so and bring a lot of value with what their offering is in terms of capabilities and capacity. But it doesn't leave much room for smaller cloud vendors to compete. And so one of the things we want to do is build a GPU marketplace so that smaller cloud vendors can compete, and we can start to see more strategic spend on compute for AI.
Okay, great. So if it does become easier to set up the compute that you need as an AI company to create what you need to do, what could the outcome be for the UK, for these businesses?
Well, to go back to the car analogy, at the moment you're having to build so much of the infrastructure. It is like designing a car and having to build the road yourself. That's not the case when you design a car. Not only do you have the road, you also have a very established ecosystem for importing the cars, for selling the cars. It's not commonly known that when you buy a car from a dealer, the dealer is not actually owned by a car manufacturer. It's actually owned by another organisation using that brand under license. And so, but to the consumer, it feels seamless. So we want to make AI really the same. We want to make sure that the innovators innovate on the technology that is going to change the world, and that there is an ecosystem around them of compute for infrastructure, tooling and expertise so that they can be as successful as they can possibly be, and make that investment go further.
Do you see a future where the UK really could be the home of AI if we get this right? If we get the infrastructure right?
Oh, absolutely. So many of the world-changing technologies that we almost take for granted now have come out of the UK over the last
from Cambridge.
And yes, many of them from Cambridge. I mean, most recently you've got the likes of sort of ARM and Raspberry Pi. A lot of the genome sequencing technology has come out of Cambridge. Obviously, you could go back as far as the Industrial Revolution and look at technologies that have come out of the UK that have really changed the world. So we are very, very good at innovating in science and engineering, and we just need to make sure that the investment that we have makes sure those innovations are as successful as they can possibly be.
Absolutely. Sounds good to me. Thank you. Sounds great.
Thank you.